Hello, this is James Splitsuit Sweeney for Red Chip Poker, and I wanted to share a quick trick with you today. I want to teach you how to 3-bet profitably without even needing to look at your cards. I do this regularly when playing, and it's something you too could do from time to time as well. There are three major elements to keep in mind, and for what it's worth, you should normally check your cards. But in select situations, you can exploit a player who simply folds too often using this simple model. The three elements are the math, villain's raising range, and the range villain would give a 3-bet action with. I won't bore you with the in-depth math, but I'll use this example to highlight where our base number comes from. In this spot, if we were to 3-bet to 32, we'd be risking $32 to win the $10 open and $3 in blinds. The break-even percentage is risk divided by risk plus reward, or 32 over 45, or more simply, 71%. Most of the time, our 3-bet needs to generate folds between 2/3 and 75% of the time to break even. Or put another way, if a player is folding more than 75% of the time when we 3-bet them, they are folding too often and we make an outright profit. So that's going to be our starting point, attacking players who fold more than 75% of the time. And we can estimate how often they're fold by looking at the other two elements. Let's say MP1 would only give our 3-bet action with queens plus ace king. This is a tight range, about 2.5% of hands. This means that if he raised with 10% of hands, he'd be folding exactly 75% of the time. If he opened 15% of hands, then he'd be folding 83% of the time. If anyone is folding more often than 75% of the time here, we should 3-bet them. And our cards don't really even matter, since this entire play just exploits their folding frequency. So if anyone only gives 3-bets action with queens plus ace king, and you think they raise 10% of hands or more, 3-bet them. If they give 3-bets action a bit wider, say with 10s plus ace queen plus, which is 5% of hands, we need them to have raised with 20% of hands or more. Pretty simple, right? The shortcut is easy. Ask yourself what they would give your 3-bet action with, then multiply that number by 4. If they'd open at least that many hands, 3-bet them, since they'll be folding 75% or more of the time. Knowing what range your opponent opens and continues with takes practice, but this is the building block of ultra-aggressive poker. The next time you find a player who is folding too often when facing 3-bets, just 3-bet him without even looking at your cards and smile when he shakes his head and concedes the pot to you. This has been James Splitsuit Sweeney for Red Chip Poker. Good luck out there, and happy grinding.